Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We're in the book of Judges, chapter 8, verses 22 through 35. Now, the great victory has occurred. The Midianites have been driven out. And the people now ask Gideon to step up to be their leader, to be their king, really. And there's and you know that they're talking about, we want you to rule over us. We want you to be king. You, and then your son, and then your grandson. They're talking about a royal progression. And Gideon responds, no, the Lord will rule over you. The Lord, God, is king over Israel. But he says, I do have one request. Well, I want everyone to chip in some earrings from the spoils that they took from the Ishmaelites. Now, remember that these are the descendants of Ishmael, who was the half-brother to Isaac. He's Abraham's offspring, who wasn't the child of promise. And so they gather up the earrings. And you need to recognize that they're not giving out of their necessity. Everybody is giving out of their excess. So this is not painful for them. Oh, sure, we'll give in some earrings. And they gather up more than 43 pounds. It's about 700 ounces of gold, plus the other stuff they gathered. And in today's world, this would be worth approximately $1.4 million, okay? Now, it's said that Gideon forms this into an ephod. Typically, that was a priestly garment that was worn. But there's no indication that this is a garment or that a priest is wearing it. It's more likely that this ephod is some sort of image. And so basically, they're giving a gift to the assembly, to the church, but it really is making them feel good about themselves. And I think about what happens in churches when people give offerings to the church, especially when they give special gifts of something. And, you know, maybe it's a stained glass window, maybe it's a church pew, you know, the list goes on. But it's exactly what happens in this story, where that ephod becomes an idol. And it becomes a sacred item, a sacred cow that cannot be touched, right? And so Gideon, whose nickname is he who contends with Baal, the false god, you know, he reigns over the people for 40 years and they have peace and prosperity, but then he dies. And people forgot all about him. And they forgot all about his sons. They forgot, even more importantly, they forgot about what the Lord had done to deliver them from slavery. But you know what they didn't forget? The ephod. They continued to bow down and worship that thing that was a result of what God had done. It was an idol. And so how often does that happen in our lives, where we end up worshiping a gift from God rather than the one who gave it? Well, thanks, my friends. Have a blessed day.